Welcome back to another episode. As always, I am Stigalicious, as he called me last time, with my thunderous thighs and my blue drink. And we have Vanna White over there. I mean that in the most literal sense of white. Roggle. So
Although you're way more watch out than I am.
I have
First
lights
off,
on me.
with this, yeah, sure you do. With this blue drink that you're inhaling, how many fucking liquors are in that thing?
I gotta watch the video.
This is an intervention. This isn't a podcast episode.
Look, I'm not the one that needs an intervention. I only
Yeah,
drink
what,
on Tuesday.
6?
I don't know. Let me count. Give me a second.
There'll be at
Okay?
least 6 of them in there.
Are we counting? Okay, we'll say hard liquor versus just like alcohol. I know it's pretty much the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hard liquors.
And you're
And
free
Mike's
for
hard.
Smirnoff.
Yeah, fucking smeared off. Dude, I've had that in my cabinet for like 3 years, and I just I hate
I
it.
think everybody has.
Somebody or one of my brother-in-laws brought it over, and I just sip on it. And then Mike's blue freeze, and then some sweet and sour, or sweet sour. That's sauce. I don't know. Anyways, so 5 hard liquors and a hard seltzer.
And a mixer.
Yeah, and a mixer, it's fine.
Yeah. So it's all right. Yeah.
We don't have soda in the house right now.
Your diabetic drinks are amazing.
I'm not diabetic yet, so.
Keep drinking that and pounding the candy. You'll be good.
And how mad would you be if I never become diabetic, but your ass becomes diabetic in 2 weeks?
I'm sitting here eating fucking candy too. Anyways, outside of the free food drinks that you have, we've got a big pay-per-view coming up this Saturday in Royal Rumble. Yeah, I would say unpredictable.
Well, comparative to like the last even like 6-7 years, you've always had a
idea.
Yeah, a very clear idea of, okay, it's going to be one of 3 people to win, and now it's who could win? Even though the favorite still is Cody Rhodes. But we can get more into that. Or let's just get into that right now. We have 4 matches. Is that what I sent you?
Oh.
Yeah, 5. No, 4. 4 matches. The first line says Royal Rumble matches. But our 4 matches are KO versus Reigns for the Undisputed title. Bianca versus Alexa for the Raw Women's. Men's Royal Rumble. Women's Royal Rumble. And Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. So, sorry for the men's, because we're already talking about Cody Rhodes. He I know is the favored to win. And that's just because where his storyline is supposed to be progressing, and he's supposed to get the world title at some point and kind of be done with WWE from all speculations. So I don't know. I had to go with him purely just because there's no one else to go for other than maybe Seth Rollins. But I mean,
oh man,
you don't know all the entries either still, so I mean,
no, I mean there's only what 15 or 16 that have officially entered.
Yeah.
And it's like obviously a lot of the main card guys that have talked about it that have been
there's some
on Raw, on SmackDown.
Yeah. So you have 15 of the 30 announced, and you have again some main like A-listers, some B-listers, and some just like, okay, clearly you're just here to fill a spot, you're not gonna win. But you have the likes of Kofi Kingston, Santo Escobar, Ricochet, Theory, Rollins, Lashley, Corbin, Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Karrion Kross for the men's. So I mean, they're still missing 15 other entrants to it. So
and those are still pretty solid ones in that. I mean, even with Theory, who being a title holder, you don't see that happening with
Santo Escobar. He's not even gonna come close. Ricochet, Not his time yet. Theory, no.
Kofi, go figure out a way for Kofi to walk on his hands and get back in the ring one time, and then he'll get thrown out.
That is
like he does every time.
We do have a bingo card, by the way. I forgot to mention at the top of this. We do have a Royal Rumble 2023 bingo card, and there's a bunch of different squares on there, and there is one for what's called Kofi Performs Crazy Save. I know my English is great for those.
It happens everyone he's been in. It's been a thing, so I do see it happening.
But I mean, I don't think Kofi's gonna win. I don't think Escobar's gonna win.
No,
Ricochet, not his time yet. Even though he's a hell of a competitor and like deserves the push that he should get, but we'll see.
He'll make it exciting.
Yeah. Theory, Rollins, and Lashley. No, Rollins maybe, but I see those three, Theory, Rollins, and Lashley, are gonna have a face-off because it's
Theory,
all for the
Rollins,
US.
and Lashley.
Yeah, because they've been facing out the last like 3 months.
Well, now with Raw last night, throwing Lesnar back into it after he came out and did his whole thing, which I'm assuming he's going to be in the Rumble.
I think it's safe to say, but
I wouldn't see why he wouldn't be.
But he would have to. That's where kind of the wild card comes in. I think he's going to be in the Rumble too. It's speculated he's going to be in the Rumble, but if he's in,
what degree?
Is he going to be decimating like all the lower levels, the low tier superstars, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, and just kind of be like, okay, and let, I don't know, Cody Rhodes eliminate him somehow, or have Drew McIntyre eliminate him again. Maybe Gunther to set up a possible feud. But I think Lashley, if Lesnar's in the Rumble and Lashley is also like they're in the match at the same time, I think those two will either clear house and eliminate a bunch of people and just go fucking haymakers on each other, or they will somehow eliminate one another. One of them will get tossed first, and then the other one will be tossed out by the same person, basically. If Brock gets eliminated, Brock will come back in, throw Lesnar over or Lashley over to just piss him off and keep that feud going.
Yeah, I'm curious to see with Lashley and the new stable that they're going to try and push.
Hurt Business?
Or I guess not new stable, but bring it back together. And to see what Montez Ford does Street Profits do, because I'm assuming they will be in the Rumble as well. At least Montez Ford, I would think so. I would like to see Montez Ford. And I don't, his fucking tag team, the Angelo Dawkins, those two coming in. Those two coming in would have a pretty serious run through if they came in, offset 5 or 6 entries off.
Yeah.
And having those two come in, but then having Lesnar come in, having Omos in there, Lashley in there, and I'm assuming, I don't know if Shelton Benjamin's around or not.
I mean,
but he's been teased. But he's been teased to join it too.
It's supposed to be the original 4 or 3: Cedric, Benjamin, and Lashley, with MVP as their sponsor. For lack of a better word.
Yeah, but I did see over the weekend of adding the Street Profits, and then also Shelton Benjamin, and having Omos. And Omos, and having that as being you can call it a new style, a woke Nation of Domination. If you wanted to.
Omos is the only one that doesn't fit. Like you can see what's going on with the Street Profits. They're getting pretty pissed off at the whole tag division. So it makes sense for them to be like, look, we're done. We'll sell out to get recognized. But I don't think, longevity-wise, I don't think both Montez and Dawkins will be in that stable. If they are, it will be one or the other, and the other one will get kicked. And I think it'll be Dawkins that gets kicked, and Montez Ford stays. Because he's already started to portray a heel character.
Yeah, slowly he is. Yeah, and he can almost do the Rock style also of Nation Domination, where he starts to kind of step in front of the stable and then separate himself from it at the same time. By doing that, getting rid of Dawkins to take over his heel persona, and then going that route of all that, of sacrificing his boy at that point to prove his worth and where he's at and move on from that. But another one I'd like to see added to it that I think would be a better mic than MVP would be Booker T, who I also think is going to be in the Rumble.
I mean, he's been
as a throwback
in the past few years, so yeah.
But I would like to see him get more interactive with it and be in a stable of some kind of talk.
I think that's honestly what Street Profits need, is to have somebody like Booker T come in and be the mouthpiece for them, because while yes, both of them, Montez and Dawkins, are good on the mic. Mm-hmm. It could just be me, but I don't take a lot what they say very seriously. It doesn't come across very serious. It come across just kind of like, I have to say this because it's scripted, or I have to say this because we have a feud. Whereas like when MVP talks, you listen, regardless of how ludicrous what he's saying is. Same with like Paul Heyman. Whatever they say, whenever they talk, you kind of sit down and you listen. But I think that's honestly what a lot of stables need, is that mouthpiece. A good, decent manager, if your leader can't talk very well, like Bayley can, as a fucking obnoxious and annoying as she is. She can talk, and she gets you to listen. You hate her, so she has the heat. But with like Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins slowly going to heel rather than being baby faces, they need somebody that's been a heel character before and who's really good on the mic and can like run the gambit, so to speak, and get them where they need to be, and almost do like a new version of God damn it, his Heat. I can't think of his stable with his brother.
Heat? Are you talking about?
Harlem Heat.
Okay, yeah.
And
that one. Yeah, I mean, those two is that one is and it's crazy to think, like, as we've already mentioned now, two very old. I mean, Nation Domination, Harlem Heat, but I mean, eventually stables, tag teams, all that stuff is going to get repeated in a persona of their own.
Yeah,
in a way, not like straight cookie cutter, but you'll find your other spin-offs. I mean, you saw on Raw, not a passing of the torch, but kind of like between Taker and Wyatt.
Yeah, it was very much a passing of the torch of, I'm done. You need to step up and do this now.
Now, if they run with it, great. Or if they kill it, like they're probably going to, who knows? But I mean,
they kill it. It's Vince killed it.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I don't think Triple H is gonna kill it.
No, but I mean, again, depends on how long his power runs, and it's not cut from underneath him.
Yeah, that's very.
But I
true.
So, with all the injuries we know and who we can possibly see, do you have anybody that you expect to see that's not listed? So now you have Forbidden Door on there on the bingo card,
and that's kind of where like I'm not sure on who I would think, but I've seen like Beer Money being talked since WWE could do that, and they already have Robert Roode, who was part of Beer Money from Impact. Mm-hmm. So I can't think of the other half of it, but have him come in and either as a one-time deal, kind of like Mickie James last year with the women's, or he comes in and then WWE gets Beer Money, and they actually have a Beer Money run, which would be amazing, because they was probably one of the only decent stables back in the Impact and TNA days. Yeah, at least when I was watching it. But he would be one. Can't think of his name. I can see the cowboy hat and everything, and the beer.
I've seen it wrestle. I can't think.
I can see it. Another one, and it's really hard. I think Shinsuke is gonna come in, but he's not Forbidden Door. He's not listed either, but I think Shinsuke will be there. Apollo Creed. You're gonna get a couple of NXT guys come up in here. I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's even cleared. I haven't heard anything. But Big E would be one I would love to see come back, but I don't think he's fully cleared.
Oh man, that would
just happened last year.
That'd be good to see, though. I mean, him to come back, I don't see much coming from him, because it's hard to just kind of throw him in there with that neck injury too. I mean,
neck injury.
True. Yes. I do expect to see Dragon Lee since they have signed him, and I don't know it because I like to see it more of him and Ricochet and some of the smaller guys do a thing for a little bit in there. If he shows up, who knows? But he's one I do think may show up.
I don't think he's coming back, but I would like to see Bubba Ray come back, but not as Bubba Ray, come back as his Impact persona, which is
the Aces and Eights style, or
God damn it, he's in Impact right now doing his run. I can't think of his fucking gimmick that he's on. Bully Ray, there we go.
Bully Ray, yeah.
I want to come back as Bully Ray, but I don't think that's gonna happen since Devon just left WWE.
Yeah.
So did the Vice President of Communication just left after 25 years. Don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that one.
He left yesterday or today. I forget which.
No, I didn't see it.
So there's more people leaving underneath Vince. But I would like to see Bully Ray come back. There's really no one else, because everyone else I want to come back will not come back because it's AEW, and they're very clearly not going to let that happen because AEW wants that plug of this is Matt Hardy from AEW, or this is Kenny Omega from no.
Like Omega's tried to make the jump, but he doesn't want to. He wants to do his own shit. He doesn't want to have. He wants creative control. They wouldn't give it to him.
Well, he wants pure creative control.
Like Bray Wyatt.
I get Bray Wyatt has full creative control over himself, but at the same time, he's willing to work with the likes of like Triple H and plot out his storyline and give and take and all that. Kenny Omega, unfortunately, and he's even done episodes and interviews where he's bashed WWE for that and says, I don't like their creative team. I don't like what they try to do. I want to be able to say, this is my storyline. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. It's your story, but there's other players involved, and you all have to come to a consensus. And like him not letting people kick out of the Fallen Angel, like, I get it, protect the move, but still, you have to be willing to give and take somewhere, or else it's not going to be successful. And his win over in New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom, everyone's pissed off about that he should have never won. That makes no sense for him to win. And he won against, I think, Will Ospreay. And everyone was like, why'd you dethrone him? He was doing so well. And now he's in a dark place, so to speak, where he's like, I'll give this another year and I'll see if I'm even going to stay.
Yeah.
Because he lost to Kenny Omega because, quote, it was Kenny Omega's call. And those type of wrestlers piss me off when it's just, well, it's my call. I can say if you win or lose. No. You're old. Yeah. Your time is limited. You should now be at the point of pushing other stars like Jericho is doing. He's taking a lot of losses, but he's doing it in the manner in which you push these up-and-comers. And not just I'm Jericho. I'm always going to win. So that's just my issue with Kenny Omega.
No, I mean, and it makes sense. And, he's established himself outside of, they're following his lead. And outside of him, he's one of the only ones that really done it. He's established himself without anything with WWE. He had a small run, but it was nothing like where he's at now.
It's not noticeable.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I can't really think of anyone else other than just like standard NXT, SmackDown, Raw guys. I would love to see Pierce, Scrap Daddy Pierce, make an appearance, but he's not going to. Shane McMahon would be another one, but he deserves a proper retirement match and not a Rumble botch. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think I'm looking at more of the luchadors that I'd want to see.
I don't know. I think because luchadors or the AAA Underground, like I don't know that.
There's a lot that I like, but I don't know if like Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, they both have had solid runs in AEW. And
had amazing runs in AEW.
And Pentagon is one of my favorites, and his hardcore style is one that I'd like to see, but WWE doesn't go hardcore enough.
Yeah, I would
like
love
what they did.
Him and his You just said his name. God,
Phoenix?
dude. Yep. I've been drinking too much, clearly, but I want to see those two team up with like Rey Mysterio and just like decimate Judgment Day.
That would be one. I mean, you go LWO style.
Yeah.
With
I would love just like that could build the story arc for Ray versus Dominic and everything, and then just have Phoenix and Pentagast come in and just be like, "Fuck you, Dominic."
with as dark as with as dark as Pentagon goes, and a lot of his stuff. I mean, he could decimate the Judgment Day and what he does, and Phoenix with the shit that he does too. I mean, those guys are great in ring.
They're fun to watch too.
Now, obviously, they both speak strong Spanish, so Mike's skills would be on Ray. But Pentagon will talk. He will talk. He doesn't care.
Yeah, they speak. Well, they speak as fluent English as a fifth grader, but
no, it's not as strong as it could
better
be.
Than Omos.
I will say yes, but when Pentagon gets on the mic, what he says, even in Spanish, it's very well. It does very well for himself on the mic when it's in Spanish. He knows how to cut a promo. He knows how to get the English speaking audience or anything outside of Spanish audience to follow what he does, and he does it amazingly. Same with Phoenix. I mean, their in-ring work does more for them than their promos do, but man, that would be awesome to see them. I don't know if they're under contract. I can't find anything on it. Last I checked, says they're not, but that was dated back in 2019.
I haven't seen any contracts. I just know they're very loyal to AEW right now when it comes to big time promotions. So, but those would be two I would love to see. I would also, this would never happen. I would love to see MJF break the door down and just fucking come over and wreck house, or at least like wreck house against some of the NXT guys, and then just be put face to face with the likes of like Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre, like one of the bigger guys even, and just have him lose, but lose to one of the bigger guys and have it be a tough bout, or even like against Seth Rollins, who would be willing to sacrifice a loss and just be like, hey, we're both going to eliminate each other, but we're going to go down swinging and fighting and just like piss each other off and cause a double elimination. I would love to see that because, again, unlike Omega and the Bucks, Seth Rollins, while his career still has a few years left on it, he's already at the stage where he's starting to just say, fuck it, I'm here for the younger talent, the up-and-coming talent, and he'd be willing to sacrifice even to AEW. Like, well, I didn't lose, but I didn't win either.
Yeah.
So we both suck.
Okay, so outside of our dreams of who we want to see come to the Rumble or just come to WWE, who do you have winning the Rumble? Or who do you think? You can say your last four if you want, or you can say your winner, whoever you want to do it.
No, I honestly think Rhodes. It's either going to be Rhodes or Rollins. Those are the only two I see standing a chance of not only winning, but progressing to a proper storyline arc against Reigns. Because Reigns has still yet to beat Rollins. So, it would make sense for Rollins to win, but Rhodes came back solely for gaining the WWE Championship. Or the Heavyweight Championship, technically. So, I'm banking everything on Rhodes, but still, if Rhodes doesn't make it, I'm giving it to Rollins. That's my two guesses, I guess, would be. I phrase out that fucking. I do see Goldberg coming back, though, for a payday.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. You'll see some of those guys. There's a couple of Attitude Era guys you'll see come through, probably. More than likely. Yeah. Who I don't really know. But I'm taking Sami Zayn to win it. That's who I think wins it.
You think he's going to enter in the Rumble?
I do, because as of last night, what they said last night is that he cannot show up until Rumble.
Yeah.
To prove himself.
For a final pass.
And then what it's come down to is he secured the spot to make sure that he doesn't lose the title. to prove himself in a manner of, yeah, I won the Rumble to make sure you do not lose the title at WrestleMania.
So
sacrificing himself as Jay, I believe, showed it in all his evidence.
I don't think they could go that long though with the story anymore. They've already started showing that it's. I mean, we'll talk more about it when we get to Reigns and KO, but we already know there's a giant fracture going on, and they don't have another. They have February, which is the Elimination Chamber, February 18th, and then April 1st/2nd is WrestleMania. There is no March pay-per-view,
and
there's a whole almost 3 months, or 4 months basically from now to 3.5 months until WrestleMania, and I don't know if they can prolong the inevitable and have him be willing to lay down at WrestleMania. So I want to see Zayn win, but I don't think he's gonna win.
That's why I'm taking it out. One is Sammy, because I don't know if it's true. Obviously, the internet doesn't always tell the truth, or Facebook. But there's leaked art, cover art, or chair art for Elimination Chamber with Sammy on it. So so I don't know. Who knows? But that's who I'm taking, and I'm hoping that it's a backup.
You don't have to if you're 100% positive that's Zayn, but
I mean, I'm not. I would.
Here's the thing: if Zayn, so for Zayn to win, that means Jay, Solo, and Jimmy would all have to enter the Rumble too, which is plausible and very, very feasible because
they have no match
on a match. And then basically, whoever wins that, or basically they would let Zayn toss them out, or however they get eliminated. Basically, they would protect Zayn, so where Zayn could be the final one and say, okay, you have to lay down for Reigns and build that story. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Like I said, purely for the fact of I think KO and Zayn are going to capture the tag title. And you saw that on Monday Night Raw just yesterday when Zayn held up the titles, or he got the tag titles from Jay, and he looks at them, and you can tell he's like, oh, hey, I haven't held gold in a while. Mm-hmm. So I think they're doing a really good job of storytelling with the Bloodline feud, and it's amazing. Minor things.
The Bloodline court was really good. It was very well done. I did like it.
I laughed.
It was done really well.
Funny, but yeah.
I think anything with Sammy almost is funny anymore. But it was very well done. I did enjoy it, and I do see a lot of stuff happening with that storyline. I do see it going more into Mania, but there's always.
I think it's going to go not happening. But I think it's going to be KO and Zayn versus Jay and Jimmy tag titles. And then it's going to come down there. Speaking of which, we'll move on to the rest of the Rumble shortly. But speaking of tag titles, that shit needs to be unified. There does not need to be two that does not need to be two titles. Does not need to be a Raw and SmackDown anymore, because there's not a well diverse and well developed tag team division still. Just like there doesn't need to be a Raw women's tag team, because there's even less women tag team than there are men's tag team. There needs to be one tag title and have it defended against all three brands. Same with the women's. One women's tag defend against all three brands, because that makes more sense, since collectively the three brands are more tag teams than there are just between Raw and SmackDown, and there's not much going on in the tag division. So to say, hey, we have a SmackDown Raw tag team means nothing. So unify it. Go back to either the Spartan belt, which looks stupid. They look better than what they have now.
Yes,
or go back to the original. I think they need to overhaul the tag belts. Redefine them, redesign them, and have them look very similar like the US, which looks amazing. The US title looks amazing.
Yeah.
Just redesign them. So here we go. One tag title. I don't think they'll do that until they drop it off Jimmy and Jay. 2K insane.
I think with my pick of with my with my pick of it being Sammy. And I think I'm just go. I like to have just a crazy one. I'll stick with The Rock, even though they may or may not have confirmed it. The Rock coming in and winning it. And he may not.
You won't.
I'm confident with Sammy in that one.
He's not ring ready.
He's shit, whatever.
That brick shit house ain't ring ready.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can't get ready. What the fuck do you have to get ready for? Like, you have to go.
He's been skipping
somewhere.
leg day.
Bullshit. Have you seen that man's legs? He walks around in fucking tree trunks sticking out of his shorts. His fucking legs are gigantic. Nothing about that. I mean, man, that man is fucking insane. I mean, he has gyms brought to him on each movie set that he has. He has his own gym in each one. It's in his contracts.
Yeah, he brings them
it's fucking insane. Yeah. Back the truck up so I can get my my workouts in and shit. But damn, he doesn't miss a damn beat when it comes to working out. Now, if he's got to get ready to in-ring work, maybe. But I don't know. As athletic as that man is, what the hell do you have to get ready for?
Well, remember, he can't cut promos without writing them down on his wrist.
He will never live that one down.
No.
He fucked up big time when he did that. I mean, Cena ripped him for it.
Everyone's been ripping him for it.
You can't fucking do that one. That one's... And I don't know. That one was a weird one when we did that shit.
Well, because he got busted. A big-time player like him got busted. On public TV.
It wasn't like he was trying to hide it. That shit was blatant. You could see it.
Yeah, no, like, he walked out, you're like, oh, there's this giant black square on his wrist. Nobody thought anything looked at it, though. They was like, whatever. And he full on
looked at it. So, I don't know. Very weird.
I do think Cena does make an appearance in the Rumble.
I agree. And that may be one of the Attitude guys. I do know that Stone Cold was offered a shit ton of money as well. And that was to go against Rollins. He turned it down.
The last I saw was he got offered and supposedly in contract to take on Lesnar, which I don't know how much I believe because that matchup doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Especially since in real life, they're really good friends.
They are.
Like it doesn't make... They have no track record together.
No, not at all. But it's in San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's hometown, not hometown, but home state in Texas. So I could see him showing up as well. I don't see him winning it, but
I could see him. This is a far stretch, but I could see him getting involved in like the KO match. Because he has passed the torch to KO with the stunner. Yeah. And basically, Bloodline intervenes and Stone Cold somehow makes an appearance. It's, again, very far stretched. Nothing there to go off of. There's no rumors. There's no speculations. There's no trail of breadcrumbs. It's just me going, oh, they had a WrestleMania match last year. Oh, yeah. He passed the center over to KO. Maybe. Yeah. So with that said, though, let's move on because we're talking a lot about the KO and Reigns match still.
Yeah.
So let's just move right into that one. I think it's kind of goes without saying, Reigns is not losing the title. As much as I want him to drop the title, drop my AirPods. He's not going to drop the title. He's going to make it all the way through WrestleMania with those titles. And I don't think he's going to get a clean win, though. I think he'll do like he did with Rollins, and it'll be a DQ where KO wins, but does not acquire the title. And it leads into a bigger feud of, I beat you, and I've proven you can't beat me without help. Just like last time they faced off, the only reason why KO lost is because Jay got involved. And it'd be kind of full circle to be like, oh, Sami Zayn got involved, which is where I think his ultimate test is going to be, is that he's going to have to take care of KO and ensure that Reigns wins or retains the title. I don't see KO walking away with the title. As much as I would love to see KO run, since now he knows that his first couple were botched and useless and he messed up on those and he's ready to make it right. I could see him just having a hell of a run. So,
damn.
oh, but with that said, kind of piggyback off the Rumble because you mentioned Elimination Chamber. So did I. We mentioned Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, Rumble faces one of the titles, and then Elimination Chamber faces the other as like double headliners for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how they're going to split the titles. I think that's how they're going to get a Raw title and a SmackDown title again. Is they're going to have somebody, maybe Zayn, but somebody's going to face Rollins or Reigns on night one. Somebody's going to face Reigns on night two. He's going to drop it on one of those nights, and he's going to throw a bitch fit about it. The only reason why I lost is because I've had to pull double duties for this company. I break my back for blah, 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 blah. Downfall. But we can touch base more on that on the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. I don't know, with the KO Reigns match, I think it should be a hell of a match. I mean, the fact that the way the KO is coming through and just obliterating everybody around, the pop-up powerbomb for Reigns to the table for the contract signing was great.
Have you seen the rumor around that contract, by the way?
No.
That KO, so the rumor and speculation is that KO didn't sign his name. He signed Sami Zayn. And that's why Reigns has this test for Sami is on Saturday. He already knows the contract is between Reigns and Zayn and not Reigns and KO. Okay. And that Reigns is going to test him by saying, lay down. Take the pin. And it's going to force Sami Zayn to be in yet another world title picture match and have to submit or roll over, basically. Again, that's very far-fetched, but there's a lot of speculation going around that one just because of what happened on Friday Night SmackDown and the fact that he did not attack Sami Zayn at all, and he just tossed him the contract, and Sami looks down at it, and he's visibly shocked by whatever he read. But if you go back, he looks at it, and his eyes get wide, like, oh, shit. So I would love for that to be it, and to be like, oh, there we go. But I think he has a better chance of winning the Rumble than he does being in the match against Reigns on Saturday.
Is that match for both titles or one?
Both.
Or are they determined? It's for both. That's for the unified. Okay.
Until further notice, WrestleMania, it will always be for both titles.
Okay.
No matter how much USA bitches and complains that you need to strip them of a title.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if that's the route they want to go with it to tease the Sami has to prove himself, which it makes sense now. If you say that the whole thing with you don't show up until Rumble, I don't want to hear from you until your test on that day. Yep. And then if that happens, cool. I mean, that's a hell of a storyline there too. You lay down, you take it, which I'm assuming he lays down.
The bitch, but yeah,
gets pinned, finds his place at the table.
But it also allow KO to come in and be like, they're making you their bitch. Stop.
Yeah. So it gives them a chance to say, okay, now it's time for you to fucking fare where you stand.
Yep.
They're making a joke out of you.
Paul Heyman's making a joke out of him, which was really surprising on Friday.
He really went in on him hard. Yeah. Like he said he wanted him dead like ECW. Like, damn, okay. But I mean, the way Heyman does shit, Heyman has an amazing way of putting heat on somebody or, putting the spotlight on somebody as well. And the way they did it, the way that whole thing went down, Jay stopping Solo from doing his move to him, the thunderous thumb poke, that's so fucking weird.
That thumb jab.
Yeah.
Did you ever taken a thumb jab? Man, that shit hurts.
I have taken just a flick to the throat. That shit hurts, but I've just never taken a taped up thumb to the throat. No, that would hurt. But going that route of Sami having to be in, yeah, okay. So let's say say it's him and Owens comes in, yeah, I can see being for both titles. Yes, I don't see Reigns losing that, hands down, no way. Because there's too much story still left to left to be told for everything. So yeah, I see Reigns taking that one as well. In a hell of a match if it is those two.
I didn't realize this, but it's been 9 months that Sami Zayn's been in the bloodline or like messing with the bloodline, which would mean WrestleMania would be his 1 year mark, which storyline wise is fucking amazing that they've had a solid, connected, proper story done. And by connect, I mean it's month after month, week after week. There's always something being added. There's always some element. Whereas, granted, that was like half is underneath Vince, and the other half is going to be underneath Triple H. But Vince has a very, very terrible spot record of running a hellacious storyline and then just randomly like poof, never happened. He's in this feud now. So this speaks volumes to the storyline, to the development, to the creative team, and I did not realize they've been feuding or they've been dealing with this thing for 9 months. And it's been a talk on wrestlers in the professional wrestling community for 9 fucking months.
Yeah, I mean, it is a long ass time.
A child has been born at the end of this.
Yeah, it's called the bloodline. We made a baby together. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely almost, I don't think it's hit its peak by any means. I think it's getting there. Some people are tired of it, but I'm not. I'm liking what they're doing. I'm enjoying the shit they're, pulling Sami back and forth. The fact that
stale.
Heyman pretty much just said, "You're a piece of shit. I want you dead," and his evidence showed everything bad that he did. But then Jay divided himself and said no. And the fact that he called him family at that point too, I wonder how that goes on in the future for other stuff.
So one of the speculations I read, and I'm like getting further and further and further into it, is that basically they're all going to turn on Reigns. And the popular one is Jay's going to become the head of the table because he's had a hellacious singles run while Jimmy was gone. And that basically Sammy's going to be the person to help him with that. And it's all going to work out because Solo likes Sammy. Jimmy loves Sammy. Jay had his issue with Sammy's, but now Sammy has proven himself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Reigns is pissing off Jimmy and Jay. So, especially with this whole Sami Zayn thing. So, we don't know much about like how Solo feels, so to speak, in storyline wise. He's very much the Arn Anderson, and he's just kind of there for muscle. But we could definitely see Reigns being pushed out of the bloodline, especially if we'll take your theory, Sami Zayn wins Royal Rumble, or let's mash our two. Actually, ours two would work perfectly. Cody Rhodes wins Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn wins Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns has to face Cody Rhodes on night 1, Sami Zayn on night 2. He thinks he's going to have an easy night on night 2, so he can focus everything on night 1, loses title on night 1, goes in, Sami Zayn and him fight or whatever, or maybe he lays down, whatever. They put up a little bit of a match, and the bloodline gets involved and they get torn. Who do they support? Sammy, who's been there to protect Jimmy, Jay, and Solo, or Reigns, who they've all had beef with. He's almost broken, or not broken. Yeah, he's almost broken Jimmy's neck. He's almost broken Jay's neck. Jay never technically lost to Reigns. He had to forfeit a match, and then he called quits because he didn't want his brother to be hurt any worse. And the Solo's never been involved. So it would make perfect sense for them to be like, you know what, Reigns? Fuck you. And then just beat him down and let Sammy get the title and basically said the new bloodline's here. And that would allow Paul Heyman to also maybe go find a different advocate or different person to advocate for and let Reigns have a few months off, go do his Hollywood stuff that he's trying to get into, and just be done with the bloodline. And he can come back at Survivor Series. It would work. It would work. Hire me, WWE. We'll hire both of us for a deal package, I guess.
I do like how that works. I mean, with the whole for Rumble Elimination Chamber going into Mania. It does make sense. It could work. It also makes sense with. I do like the whole thing of. Well, I do see the bloodline imploding at some point and turning on somebody or something of that. Something happening within it, and somebody turns on somebody. So
last night was a very clear indication that Jay literally went out and saved Sammy. He could have sat back after months of saying "fuck Sammy," kick him out. Now he's saying I'm defending Sammy, and Jimmy was okay with it. So was Solo, but Reigns wasn't. So I mean, we're already seeing the breadcrumbs of deceit or whatever you want to call it. They're just be like, well, maybe Reigns isn't in power so much, and if Sammy can win the Elimination Chamber, or Rumble and Cody Rhodes or somebody else wins the other, it doesn't matter. They just need to win one of them. That would set up a perfect storyline, especially for if they did it. If Sammy won the Rumble, Cody Rhodes won the Elimination Chamber, it would give them February, March, April. It would give them 2.5 months to basically play up that Reigns isn't worried about Sami Zayn, but secretly he is, and it shows in like his actions and the way he treats Sami. And you have Jay backing Sami a little bit more. You have Jimmy backing Sami a little bit more, and kind of sowing the seeds of deceit of, hey, your time's coming, Reigns. But I think it will come down to either the bloodline fully turns on Sami, or it implodes and they turn on Reigns. Those are the only two outcomes. I don't see anything else. I don't see anything else that's possible.
At some point, I mean, something has to happen along those lines of, imploding of some kind. We'll see. But do we both take Reigns?
Yeah.
Okay, after our tangents and
have the rabbit hole down. Nevermore. Yep. So let's move to the next one. I think this is gonna be kind of cut dry too. Bianca versus Alexa for the Raw Women's. I'll let you go first. I think I already know my prediction. I think I know yours too, but I'll shut up and just drink.
I'm going to take Bianca retains the title. I'm going to go with Bianca retains, but I'm not going to get into how until we get to Bray and LA Knight.
Well, then let's just that one.
I think it ties in. I think there's some tie-in between these two matches in a manner of some stuff.
I'll tie it in, and we'll jump into Bray Wyatt. I think Bianca retains, Alexa wins. I think Uncle Howdy or somebody comes in and gets involved somehow, basically DQ. It's going to be a dirty win, basically, for Bianca. She'll win, but it's going to be by default.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
Because that's also the huge speculation of she's already kind of positioning herself with Uncle Howdy. We've seen them together now 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But I think Bianca keeps the title. She retains. But Alexa technically wins or whatever. And it's going to be an Uncle Howdy or maybe Firefly, Funhouse crew, whatever, gets involved. But Bray Wyatt's team is going to get involved. Specifically for me, again, Uncle Howdy. Can't say that enough, Uncle Howdy. So yeah, just my idea. And I think that's going to also kind of, again, lay into Wyatt versus LA Knight. I think Uncle Howdy's going to get involved in that match.
So I agree in some fashion, some manner, with this being that pitch black match that they have. Granted, it's a fucking Mountain Dew match, but
I had one of those again for the first time. They're not as good as I remembered.
They're not good, period.
They were good back then. They're not good now. I drink that shit religiously. Now I'm like,
no, they're not good. Mountain Dew is very hit or miss with their flavors. Their plethora of flavors now. So with this pitch black match that they have, I think LA Knight wins, but in a manner of Wyatt never pins him, beats him at all. I see LA Knight winning the match, but I don't see it in a manner of Wyatt actually losing. I see him being taken by whatever is trying to take over him and all that stuff of it's almost like a graveyard style match of like somebody being swallowed by whatever's trying to take them. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I get.
And however they do it, so he's just taken by whatever, and the match kind of ends that way. Like LA Knight's like, what the hell? And then LA Knight goes on because LA Knight can talk his ass off. The guy could cut
obnoxiously
promos like, and it's insane. I like his promos. I like how he is. His whole thing works. He's goofy looking as shit, but
I like all of it except for the part where he's talking, and he just stops and he goes, "Yay!" And talks.
Okay,
shut up.
I like it. I like the It's just
it's such a fucking ripoff of Stone Cold going, what?
It is,
like,
and yes,
and that's again Attitude Era is what I mostly watched growing up. So I'm like, shut up. You're not Stone Cold. You're stealing his shit. Shut the fuck up. It sounds stupid. I hate you so much.
And I get it. And we said before, it's gonna happen. You're going to get some of the old stuff to bring it back in and figure out their own thing and take it from somebody. But I see it that way, and I see LA Knight running his mouth because I think they will fight again. And it could be Elimination Chamber and mystery partners that Bray Wyatt has somehow, some way of a blacked out Elimination Chamber tube of a couple of them, something like that. But, I'm thinking on my ass at some point, but they have another special match of some kind because they have the pitchback one here, and I think they have another one of whatever another time.
I think it's gonna be a best of 3.
It could be, and I think the best one to do it would be with LA Knight because the way that he can talk and the way that Bray can talk as well.
I agree. I think LA Knight's gonna win. I don't know why it's gonna just fucking up and disappear. That would make the most logistical sense to have him just leave and be like, well, he never got pinned, he never submitted, so he didn't lose, but he did lose. He forfeited type thing. Yeah, that it protect both wrestlers, and then another way they can again protect both wrestlers would be allow both of them to be in the Elimination Chamber match. They're not gonna win it, but they're there to just kind of beat the holy shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And you get more of a mind game, Q second match type deal, and then they have the final match on WrestleMania where Wyatt inevitably wins.
Yeah.
But again, far stretch, we know nothing that's going down the pipeline. Yeah. And WWE's being sold, maybe it's not being sold, Saudi's getting it, maybe they're not, Vince is in control, he's not in control, who fucking knows? It's like fucking Oompa Loompa village right now, just everything and anything going on.
But, so yeah, I think some shit happens.
Going to play into the Alexa match, though.
I think that I fucking had it before. Damn, we were recording. So how was it? It's okay. I guess it's a little bit similar. That's the first time you see Howdy. First time you see Howdy is with that. Is his flashes in and out, and Alexa kind of may or may not disappear in that manner, and then because I don't see him doing the same thing in Alexa's match as they do in Wyatt's match.
Well, he doesn't need to appear. He can just have the great mask.
Yeah, and he had his silhouette in the last one where he just kind of was there. Something along the lines of interference there, but I don't see it being as elaborate, I should say, and like as the Wyatt one will be.
It'll be very basic comparative to Wyatt. Because they had to protect Wyatt very heavily. They don't have to protect Alexa too much. They can let her snap and just beat the holy hell out. Bianca be like, DQ'd, whatever. Because Alexa doesn't care. That's her demeanor right now anyway, so.
Yeah.
But that does kind of lead into the next part, which is a women's Royal Rumble. There's only been 7 entrants named, which is Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and Emma. And I will say, I don't know where. I don't know the match lineup, so I don't know if Alexa's gonna have her match first and then the women's, or what. But I will say, if the women's Royal Rumble matches happens first, I think Alexa will make an appearance inside of the Rumble and stand a very good chance to win it. So where she has a reason to go again against Bianca and set up a best of 3 match, because right now they're on 2 matches. So it would make perfect logical sense to have Alexa somehow make the appearance and win, but only if the Rumble match is after their match.
Yeah.
Rather than before, because then it's just like a fucking spoiler. It doesn't matter what happens to their match. So, yeah. Who would you like to see though?
For the women's
Forbidden Door including.
I mean, I don't know any female wrestlers outside of WWE. I mean, I barely know the ones that are in WWE, to be honest. I mean, I don't follow the women's division that much. I do like the women's Rumble almost better than the men's, though. I will say that. I do enjoy the women's.
Anybody.
I don't. I'll be honest. I don't know all of them, but I'm taking I have 2 picks. I'm taking Rhea Ripley or Liv. Those are my 2 to come out as winners, because those 2 have a past together to see if the one-on-ones at the end.
So I guess the better question then would be to rephrase that as, do you see Becky Lynch getting involved in the Rumble?
I do see Becky Lynch getting involved in the Rumble, and
along
only
with
when
Bayley, Io, and Dakota.
Yeah, all 3 of those, focusing her attention on those 3, and then kind of going away. I don't see that rivalry dying anytime soon.
But no, because they scrapped the cage match on Monday.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people that were pissed about that.
What? Oh, you mean just because they've been advertising it for a fucking week and a half?
Yeah, the Bellas made a huge deal about it. They talk shit about it and everything.
All right, so step back from all this. The Bellas can fucking suck it, okay? Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but everyone, like, they always talk about the women's revolution. Bitch, you weren't involved in it. Like, I get everybody's like, well, I was part of it. Fucking Blaze said she was part of it. I get it. Cool, whatever. Here's the problem, okay? Both the Bella twins were still divas. They came in during the diva era, where it was, no offense, big boobs, great bodies. You're there to be seen, not really have athletic talent. Now, granted, Nikki and Brie had the talent. They could both wrestle. But Nikki became a pretentious prude, for lack of a better word. And Brie stepped outside and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to live a good life and have a family and do all this outside WWE stuff. Nikki, on the other hand, is a fucking mouthpiece who doesn't know when to shut up. And she often comes across very egotistical, self-centered, and like she's better than everybody else. And she's not. She's not. But I don't think those 2 will be in the Royal Rumble, especially after the shit they've been talking about WWE
I don't think so.
And the Women's Revolution.
No, there won't be anything as far as any of that happening. I say I think Rhea comes in and she fucking cleans house.
Yeah.
For a lot of it. Who's the other gargantuan?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's who fucking Liv went against last week or whatever. She's big as shit too. Her I do see going through and doing a lot as well. Becky will be in and clean some too, but I don't think it goes anywhere past her and Bayley.
So I agree. I think Raquel Rodriguez or Rhea has to start. The other will not come in until later on. There'll be a face-off between the 2 of them. I think Liv Morgan, unfortunately, as much as I like Liv Morgan, I think unfortunately she's going to kind of be the underdog in the situation, and she's going to be the one that's kind of just sitting back and letting the mayhem go down. I would love to see Liv win and then have Rhea win the women's elimination chamber if they do one. If they don't, I think Rhea's going to win. But I think to make the Judgment Day solidified as a proper stable, they need to have a title. Somebody in that group needs to have a title. And seeing as Rhea Ripley is clearly the leader, the dominant force, the ringleader, whatever you want to call her, mommy, she gets the title. And her and Bianca have beef way back to the NXT days. So,
oh yeah,
as much as I want Liv to win and just knock the ever loving shit off of Charlotte Flair and her throne, her given throne, not earned, given. I think Rhea's gonna win. And I think we're gonna see the likes of like Trish Stratus come back. We're gonna see Leah come back. I would say the Bella Twins, but after last night, they ain't coming fucking back.
I don't think so.
Legends come back just to fill a spot. Xia Li is one I've seen a lot where it's saying she's kind of gonna come in and she's going to win. But seeing she's not an entry, typically, at least what I've been looking at the last 3 or 4 days trying to research for this episode, is whoever is announced as the entry tends to win. It's not the random people. So, based off of that knowledge and that information alone, I do think it has to go to Rhea or Liv. Ideally, again, I want Liv. But I think Rhea's going to win to solidify Judgment Day.
So we're both kind of on the same page as far as between Rhea and Liv.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone's like, I've seen all the reports saying Xia Li will come in and win, but she's not listed. But granted, this is also like what the third women's, maybe fourth women's Royal Rumble. It's still fairly new compared to the men's. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think Ronda Rousey will make an appearance. And I think it'll be her teaming up with Shayna Baszler. But again, I think Rhea's going to somehow come in, break that up, and kind of be like, fuck you bitches, I'm more powerful than both of y'all.
I think Ronda's done.
I don't.
I think she's done. She's done, and Shayna Baszler will slowly fizzle out and go somewhere else too.
Nope, they're going to the tag team division.
You're probably fucking right, but I want Rousey gone. I like her as gone.
They might as well be gone if they go to again. No hate towards the women's tag team division. It's just
not there.
It's obsolete. There's nothing there. Who they're gonna fucking compete with. There's who
has them right now?
Io and Dakota. Again, a stable.
Yeah.
But name another, other than Toxic Attraction, name another female-driven stable or faction with tag teams. You can't because you don't know half the fucking female division.
No,
there's none. So to introduce Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, cool. You now have 3 people to compete plus some hodgepodge put together tag team like it did. Again,
yeah.
If you want the tag team to be taken serious, you need to have one belt divided between the 3 brands and have it, mean something. While the Usos are doing a great job defending the tag title, let's see who they face. New Day, Street Profit, New Day again. Hodgepodge Group, mix-ups, Judgment Day. Like, they don't have any true divisions, tag team divisions. They're trying to make it all up now. And Triple H is doing a good job creating factions to allow for tag team division to grow, but it's going a little slow.
It's going very slow.
And it's...
I think he loses Street Profits soon.
Yep. I think by the end of the year. I don't know how soon is, but I think by the end of the year you will have a Angelo Dawkins solo run, Montez Ford solo run. Different brands where they don't have to compete against each other.
Yeah, it could be.
So that'd be stupid to have them together and then fight constantly rather than do like Rollins and Reigns and just have them fight occasionally. No big matches.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely happen that way too. I do see something along those lines that they will lose them eventually, and they won't be around to be in the tags anymore. Yes, but I mean, I think we pretty much locked it in for women's title or women's rumble.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
with the
Rhea or
Liv.
Liv. Yeah. Another one I found, Brian Cage. His contract is up in the air.
Yeah.
Right now with AEW. One. So maybe I don't think he's ready for WWE yet.
He doesn't need to be 100% ready. It could be a trial. It could be improve your shit.
Because I just don't know if he fits. To be honest, the way that he's
he doesn't fit with Triple H era, but he does fit for Vince McMahon of the brick shit house guys.
Now those between him and Theory, those two together, I think would be good. I don't know why, but I think the fact that they have the same mic skills in a matter of Brian can talk, but he's a screamer. Theory can talk, but he's a bitch. So put them together, they may have, Cage Theory of some kind.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Like, that's who I think he would work with. I mean, he could do a singles run too, but it's tough with guys like Cage, because you look at Lashley, that too. The brick shit houses have a tough time doing anything. Strowman, I mean, what the hell is he doing?
Dude, he's just catching paycheck.
Underused. He's underused.
I don't even think he's underused. I think literally it's just a paycheck. Bro, respect.
I don't doubt it.
But like, he was a WWE championship. I get it. It was pandemic era and Reigns couldn't go, so they had to give somebody. Goldberg was going to drop it one way. I get it. Yeah. But he has also proven he can do it. And again, we talked about kind of with Gunther. I think it should have been a dirty win for Gunther to properly win against Strowman, win it dirty, and not this clean bullshit finish that he got, because that goes against one. Gunther's a heel character, not babyface. And he needed his Imperium crew to come in. But Strowman literally just laid down and lost. It was a clean win. And that's ridiculous. It should have been DQ. It should have been Imperium, like, low blowed him, distracted him, whatever. Something instead of this. Hits a finisher, wins. I think Strowman's going backwards rather than forwards. And he's kind of he's there for a paycheck. Nothing else. And that's sad because Strowman can't move.
Yes. I would, oh man, I don't know. I think he just needs to go back into a stable, to be honest, if he wants to just kind of have that cash a paycheck style, because he has the stature to do that. I'd like to see him back with Bray, but more than likely you won't.
That doesn't make much sense to have him with Bray.
No, I mean, it doesn't, but I'd like to see him somewhere as a powerhouse of some kind, going back to what he was. Yeah. But yeah, the enforcer style. But
I don't know who you could tag with, honestly. I mean, he has history with Bray, so it would make most sense to put him with there. But technically stable himself with LA Knight to go against Bray, because again, history there.
Yeah.
But it's all such a far stretch. Like, it would just have to be him creating a storyline. Right now, the only storyline that could put him in a stable would be with Ricochet.
And then you have your callback to X-Pac and Kane of that style.
But, yeah. Still a stretch, though.
It is. I mean, it's all going to be. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping that a lot of things happen to where some of the guys that are kind of been pushed down and underutilized will start to kind of get different pushes to maybe bring some more light to the U.S. Intercontinental titles, to kind of bring those titles back up
You want
in the
more
manner
weight to the
of
U.S.? They're fucking
I
having a
want.
champion match with
Oh
them
my
like every
gosh,
other fucking week.
that's. I just want something because I can't stand. I don't like
Granted,
Gunther.
it's always Lashley or Reigns, but
Yeah, and that's what I want to see more people. I want to see somebody that actually is a legit IC title holder that can wrestle and is able to carry it. Just because you look at in the past, they've had great fucking runs with them. I mean, when Michaels had it and everybody. I mean, there's
Gunther
I
has a
fucking hate
good
Gunther.
run. I do too, but Gunther has a good run going on right now. But the problem is, again, their story stability was solid until Strowman got involved, and you had Gunther backing down from Strowman, Gunther running away from Strowman, Gunther like evading Strowman. Again, you won. Fucking what? Like, this doesn't make any sense. They should have played the card like they've been playing for the past month or two at that point, and have Gunther been kind of scared or timid, or whatever. And because that was the first like real emotion side we got of Gunther versus this stonewall German guy, or sorry, Austrian guy, whatever. And for him to have won that, like, it just discredited everything. It's like he shouldn't have won clean. There's no real competition, and I get they're trying to push him to basically replace Reigns when Reigns is done with holding the title, to basically say, hey, look, we have the longest reigning IC title holder. Gunther should not be it. It should be somebody else who's more reputable and better on the mic. And Imperium as a whole is not good on the mic. They don't come across very well on the mic. They don't come across very well, like, heat or no heat. Like, they're so wishy-washy.
I don't like that style, the plain and kind of just, I don't want to say straight edge because like CM Punk was straight edge, but totally different.
They're more of
I
a
mean?
very poor rift on FTR, the Revival, where the Revival, when they were in WWE, was all, no flips, just hits or fists, whatever.
Yeah.
They were very purist. But the problem is the way Imperium comes across as purist is not the same. And versus like the Revival, when they came across as purists, pure wrestlers, about the business, it worked for the Revival. It does not work for Imperium. I don't know why, but there's something that doesn't click with me for them, and it always seems like they're missing a component, they're missing an element, they're not able to sell it very well. Whatever it may be, something's off, and it doesn't work for Imperium. Maybe it's a skinny mouthpiece dude. I don't know.
Oh man.
But I'm not a big fan of them, but again, I see where they're going. I see what they're trying to do. It just doesn't make sense at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, regardless, double back though. I was just thinking about this. I think Randy Orton comes back in the Royal Rumble.
I think Riddle's back too, isn't he? It's been 6 weeks. He's only out 6 weeks.
I thought it was 60 days. But if that's true, either way, if that's true, if Randy comes back and Riddle comes back, they can have a reunion and then do the inevitable dissolving of Rated RK Bro.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. But I would love to see that happen. I think Randy Orton's slated to come back. I haven't seen much as like status, like whether or not he's set to come back. The most I've seen is he pissed somebody off at a hotel that he was staying at, and he pissed them off by saying, "I'm not taking pictures with you. Stop taking pictures of me," because he was just swimming in the pool with his kids or his wife, whatever. I don't remember the exact situation. It was like November, and it pissed off the mom. Because my kid just wants a picture with you. I was like, lady, I'm trying to enjoy time with my family.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think that could happen, and it won't have any impact on the flow of traffic, but it would be entertaining to have him come back, have Riddle come back, clean out a few no-name people, and then maybe turn on each other, have Randy turn on him, because that's already expected. They already RKO'd him 2 or 3 times. Why not? But
yeah, we'll see.
Again, Royal Rumble this year is probably the most unpredicted Royal Rumble they've had in several years. So there's no clear shot. Before last week, it was thought The Rock was coming back. He was going to win. That's how he's going to get his match with WrestleMania and against Reigns, because he has to win Royal Rumble to get a match. He doesn't. Neither here nor there. But you also only have 4 matches, 2 of which are Rumble matches, and 2 of which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was right the first time. There's 5. Men's, women, LA, Alexa, Reigns, 5. But anyways, I just see this as the most unpredictable. Like, the only one that's truly predictable, like we know what's going to happen, is going to be Reigns. We know Reigns versus KO. KO will lose. Inevitable. That's what's going to happen. Spoiler alert, whatever. Not a spoiler, it's a prediction. Guaranteed, whatever Paul Heyman says. But yeah. And then I guess we'll touch base next week, right after Royal Rumble, to see who got a bingo card. Probably no one.
No, probably not.
But it'll be interesting. This is the first Royal Rumble I'm truly like actively looking forward to versus like last year or even the last 3 years. Granted, pandemic era, I get it, but I've never been big into Rumble of, I'm gonna watch all these people throw over. Oh, I know it's gonna be this person. Okay, cool. So I think this year we have something special. I think we have an interesting lineup. I will say this to end this. I predict a minimum of 2, whether 1 female, 1 male, or two female, 2 males, whatever you want to say it, but 2 non-WWE appearances, whether it's Impact, whether it's AEW, Lucha Underground, New Japan Wrestling, GCW, whoever. I predict a minimum of 2 outside competitors coming into WWE Royal Rumble matches.
Maybe.
I also think it's going to be mostly women because they only have 7 announced and they need 30. So,
yeah.
Hi, Mickey James. Welcome back again. But any other predictions, covers, spoilers?
I don't think so. Unless Naomi comes back.
Oh, yeah, have you seen the prediction with her? Since they're kind of doing the Judgment Day versus Bloodline feud going on.
Oh, yeah. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, have her go against Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Which would make sense, but not. Rhea just needs to get smacked by a dude. I think she could enter into the men's Royal Rumble too, by the way. She's one of those that I could see. Because there's a lot of speculation that she's going to say, I don't want the women's, I want the men's.
Yeah.
But how well did that work for Nia?
Not very well.
Or Beth Phoenix, I think, was the other one. I think there's only been like 3 or 4 that's entered to the men's. But
yeah.
Regardless, again, this is the preview. No. This is our perspective on what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble and the Fallout. And of course, we will have a whole nother episode dedicated to the Fallout, along with the Fallout episode of Monday Night Raw. So that will happen next week. But this is the end of this episode, or else we will talk for another 2-3 hours just about wrestling. So we'll save it all for next week. Until then, everyone, Sigalicious says bye. And here's Roggle, Mr. Baby Booger himself. To say
Sigalicious.
His famous catchphrase. So here he is, everyone. Bye-bye.
With your self-proclaimed Sigalicious. Thunderific Thunder Dice. I didn't do shit.
I will replay the episode.
Looking forward to Rumble and all the crazy shit that could happen. we'll look out for it. I don't know. Maybe Jazz comes back too. Who knows? We'll see. We'll check it out. I'm saying it now. Till then, bye, bitch.